What's up, everybody?
Now in Streamlabs OBS window.
Alright, welcome back
button.
to Blindside.
You are currently on a button inside of web content. To click this button, press Control Option Space. To exit this web area, press Control Option Shift up arrow.
Little break to kind of improve. I was kind of practicing, work on stories and stuff, just because I feel like there could be some improvements going in here. I'm still trying to figure out visuals. I know people on Twitter have gave me some feedback. If you guys still want to give me feedback, that's always an option, either in this live chat right now, comments if you're watching this later, or on Twitter at EmmittNoC04, or you can send me a direct message on Instagram at EmmittNoC. So, yeah. First of all, we're going to lead off with this. When I originally was playing the show a couple days ago, I wanted to lead out with the Julio Jones thing, but there's been some bigger stories that I want to lead out with, so I decided to just do some NBA to lead in. I don't know if you guys have heard this or not, and make sure everything's going good here. But Anthony Davis, brittle bones AD, suffered another injury. And I'm going to talk about this. So, obviously, Sunday, the Lakers played against the Phoenix Suns. And if you guys were not watching, or if you guys have not been, on sports media for a little while, social media, whatever, Anthony Davis, Lakers superstar forward / center, has gone down with yet another injury. I don't know what grade it is, but it's a groin strain. And I've done some research. All right, so I can kind of break down what this might mean for the Los Angeles Lakers and give you every scenario possible. It is Blindside Sports. I'm Emmit Douglas. So first of all, the scenario that I don't think it is, because I feel like he would be playing through it, a grade 1. A grade 1 basically is when you have it's barely a strain. I mean, your tendons are fine. There's just a little pain down there. Basically, that's really all a grade 1 is. So nothing too concerning. But so I don't think it's that. I'm ruling that one out here. I'm not a doctor, so a grade 2, which is strain, could miss 2 weeks. Some of there's a lot of healing to be done, and he's had pretty good amount of pain. And the grade 3 is torn, gonna take a while to recover. Tendons and ligaments down there are torn, which I don't think it is. I'm willing to say it's a grade 2. If you guys have seen anything, you can correct me down below if you know what it is. So what does that mean for the Lakers? 2 weeks is what AD can miss. Now, first of all, what this could mean is if they make it past this first round against the Phoenix Suns, which I'm starting to have my doubts, but at the same time, the Phoenix Suns aren't the most healthy squad themselves. So we just won't know. We'll have to wait and see tonight. Tonight, I do have the Suns winning that one, as I'm recording this on Tuesday, June 1st. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm pretty worried about it. 2 weeks. Now, what does that mean? With the NBA schedule, the earliest this game is gonna end, or this series is gonna end, is Saturday, Friday, Saturday, around that time slot, right? Or even Thursday night at the earliest. So what that means is, who knows if this next round starts soon, then he could be missing a good chunk of that. But I would, if we're thinking real here, if it's a grade 2. Another option is he plays through this injury. He misses tonight, tries to get better, and then hopefully plays through it. But he's probably not going to be at 100%, which is kind of, an LL for the Lakers. Like I said, my first ever show, I was like, if the thing is with the Lakers is we're going to need both these guys at 100% to succeed. The thing is, if the Lakers have any chance of getting out of this round, LeBron James is going to have to be he's gonna have to take a time machine and go back 2 years. I don't know if he can do that. Now here's the thing with LeBron, he might still be having some ankle issues. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I guarantee you, LeBron did this to himself. If LeBron never came out here and said, I don't know if I'll be 100%. I don't know if I'd be having these doubts. He kind of did it to himself. I don't know if I'd be having these doubts if if LeBron were just acting casual about this whole situation. And the Lakers, they're gonna have to, Schroeder's got to step up. Everyone's got to step up, to have a chance. I think LeBron James, he's gonna. I saw this on Twitter. Perfect take. LeBron James, he's gonna have to play around 40 to 42 minutes a game to sustain a lead for the Lakers. Personally, in my opinion, here's why. LeBron James and Anthony Davis are the catalysts of those teams. Kuzma's had his bright spots. Schroeder's been a help, obviously. But they're nothing without Anthony Davis or LeBron James. Now with LeBron, they could sustain it in the regular season. I'm just not willing to say that LeBron can win in the playoffs like that. We have a 36-year-old LeBron who might still be facing some injury issues himself. And he's playing against a kind of talented Suns team, even though the Suns, they're not the healthiest team in the league. Chris Paul, he's still having some issues with his shoulder. So it's just the situation is crazy. Now, this kind of leads, if we're talking about injuries here, why not just lead into this? The Luka Doncic injury. I honestly, with the way he was looking on Sunday night against the Los Angeles Clippers, I was kind of writing the Mavericks off because, man, Playoff P has earned the true Playoff P name, not the pandemic P name. He's been great lately, and Kawhi Leonard's been great. I don't know what's going to happen. I personally had the Mavericks, besting the Clippers at first, just the way they're looking when it's 2-0. I actually had the Clippers out of the round, or making out of the round before, this thing hit. I did not expect the Mavericks to put this much of a fight up, but they need Luka Doncic. That's very crucial for them to have success. They need him to be ready. They need him to be pretty healthy. And I saw on Twitter that he's been getting massages, which hopefully that will help him. But I have also seen some very optimistic thoughts. They have 2 days off. This series is probably one of the better series out there. And my concern with the Lakers right now is about 9.5. My concern for the Mavericks is about 5 out of 10, obviously. So yeah. Now we're gonna stick NBA here. All right. Now, obviously, this has been a topic for a pretty decent amount of time now. In this Kyrie Irving fan, or just all the fans. It's not just the Kyrie Irving one. I have some thoughts on this, so we're gonna hop into it. What the hell is wrong with these fans? That's I'm gonna start. That's why in my notes I put this segment or this story called as. Okay, hear me out here. Now I'm gonna give you guys the context before, if you guys have not been paying attention to sports media. And obviously fans are starting to come back into the building after the COVID. Well, not the COVID's not officially over, but we're making our headlines. We're getting closer and closer. All right. So that obviously stuff's starting to open up with that, which is awesome. Good to see. And you have these fans coming in to the arena, and the first one happened Wednesday night, where we had the two major. This one's not as major, but Russell Westbrook left the game in the third or fourth quarter against the Philadelphia 76ers with an apparent ankle injury at the time, and he's limping off the court. This guy throws popcorn on him. Now, that's just, you know, that one's whatever. Do I think the guy's a jerk and a douche for it? Of course. But the ones that I'm going to be talking about here are more serious. And what do I think should happen to these fans? And, you know, it's just, you know that. The next one happened the same night in the Hawks-Knicks game where someone hawked a loogie onto the court at Trae Young just to full-on and hit him. I don't know if he hit him. I can't see the video. Most people are, you know, saying, oh, well, he hit him. And then the third one that stuck out happened on Sunday night with this was a big one where a water bottle was hucked onto the basketball court by a 21-year-old Celtics fan. And then what happened last night, I mean, this one's more common, I guess. Someone at the Wizards game ran onto the court and basically just ran on the court. Security guard tackled him. And, you know, I think he's getting some legal charges pressed on him. First of all, I want to say this. I am all for booing, you know, trash talking. You know, I'm a Dodgers fan. I'm all for the cheating Astros getting booed, and I'm all for the trash talking and the chants. But here's where I draw the line. When it becomes either derogatory racist slurs or homophobic, like any of that stuff, anything that could offend someone, or crap like this, spitting on somebody, that is horrible. Like that is, you know, something that if that were to happen to me and if I were a player, I'd lose my cool. I'm being real. I'd be heated. I'd probably be ejected too. All right, that's just something you don't do, especially when you're in the middle of this pandemic. You just spitting. You know, I've heard these arguments where he could have spit. He didn't mean to spit. What do you want? He didn't hit Trae Young. What's the big deal? Well, Wellsy. Well, here's the thing. Trust me, man. You know, there's times where, you know, yeah, you gotta spit, right? Like it, just either spit into like a rag, spit into like a cup or a bottle, spit on the ground, something. Not just go and just go right to the court. Like that's terrible. Like now, I don't know if it hit Trae Young, but still, it doesn't count. And the water bottle of Kyrie Irving. Oh, do I think you should get charges? Or what should happen? Banning a person from the game, I get the point. But you also have to think about it in this thought process. You're not technically banned from the game. I've seen that. Because you can just buy tickets on the internet. We're in 2021. It's easy to get these tickets. But, you know, if someone sees you, you're in big trouble. So are these guys going to take the risk? I don't know. These guys, you know, it could be a mistake. You know, they could be drunk and they wouldn't do this sober. I don't know. Now, we're going to talk about this, the Kyrie Irving's one. Because this is the one that was just... like, wow. You throw a water ball on the court, man, that one could just hurt. That might hurt if you get smacked in the dome piece by a water bottle. If your cranium gets just absolutely by a water bottle. That one, you know, who knows? I don't know what, I think it was a plastic water bottle. So it might not do too much damage, but if you get that head of speed full, yeah, that could definitely cause some damage. And I tweeted this out the night this happened, and I said this is unacceptable, which it is. I'm all for stick to your chanting, stick to your trash talking, stick to your boo. I love those chants, like the FL2V. Oh man, I love it. But when it goes to throwing stuff on the court, targeting these players, I just don't get it. Even I, as a Dodgers fan, I had an issue. You know, I completely understand like, even though it's the cheating Astros, even though they cheated, even though Rob Manfred did do a thing for it, I understood, like, why you could be upset with throwing a trash can on the field. I was all for the signs, I was all for the booing, I was all for the chants that are getting yelled, the cheater. The fans are going great, and that's cool to see. But you cannot be throwing these bottles, spitting on players. And honestly, man, I hope these guys learn their lesson. I hope it was a mistake. I saw something, this might be fake news, that this guy could get the water bottle guy could get a fat charge. Here's the thing. What would that be? If he can assault disorderly conduct, like, I just don't know if that's at most. I don't know if that he's gonna truly get that. But enough on the fans. If you're gonna go to a sporting event anytime soon, just pipe down, be cool, trash talk, chant, boo. Don't be throwing freaking bottles onto the court. Don't be spitting on dudes. Like, just spit. Okay, before I move on, just spitting on a guy is just just horribly disgusting to me. I just couldn't fathom just someone go just right on me. That, like, dude. All right. Now we have a couple more big stories here, and then a lot of these are just like a couple minute little break off stories here. Where we want to go to? Should Golden State shot for another star? There's a little small story here. Now, I saw a report. Don't know if this is gonna happen or not, but the Warriors are down to shop James Wiseman for another superstar, and I think the Warriors should. Steph Curry's still in the prime of his career. Probably arguably had his best season yet this season, and they're closer to winning than they think they are. I don't know what Klay Thompson's going to be like, but if they could, nail that big three, then definitely go ahead, trade James Wiseman, do what you got to do. I mean, or maybe even trade Klay Thompson and keep James Wiseman. Just because I don't know what Klay's going to be like. Like, 2 back-to-back serious injuries is just can't trust what Klay Thompson's going to look like. Hydration break. Woo! There we go. Water slaps, boys. All right. So yeah, there's that story. Now we're gonna move on to this. Julio Jones wanting to get traded out of Atlanta. Now, obviously, you guys, if you guys haven't heard, I'll give you guys another recap here on the Blindside Sports with Emmit Douglas. Get me on Twitter at EmmittNoC04. I will put in everything in the description at the end of this program. Instagram, EmmittNoC. Emmit is spelled with 2 M's, an I, and a T, and Nosee, Nosee. So go hit me up over there if you have feedback for the show. That is the best spot to do it, or in the YouTube comments. Leave it right here. But, I give you guys some early glimpses of my takes on Twitter. So Twitter is a must follow if you have Twitter. Instagram, I mean, if you want to see what I look like, go over there. I'm not too active on that as much as I used to be, but I still post occasionally. I post on my story if I'm doing anything cool, or I post about sports takes. So go over there, hit them up with a follow. All right. Now, Julio Jones, wanting out of Atlanta. I talked about this a while ago, I believe, and I said I don't blame him for wanting out. Atlanta is closer to a rebuild than they are winning. Even though they have Kyle, their offense is great, but their defense is just horrible. And Julio Jones, Shannon Sharp basically called up Julio Jones on live TV on Fox Sports, and Julio Jones answers the phone, and Shannon Sharp's like, "Hey, would you want out of Atlanta? You want to go to Dallas?" He didn't want to go to Dallas. He didn't seem too happy about that, but he's like, "Yeah, man, I'm out of there. I'm out of Atlanta." And, first of all, that begs a question. Well, would Shannon Sharp, if he knew that was on live TV, do you think that would come out? I don't know. I'm kind of skeptical if he'd, be spewing that take out there just for all of us to see on live TV. Because, that's live TV. And I think, he came out. I think they're kind of working it out privately. So, yeah. And, Julio Jones, he's 33 years old. my thoughts on him as a player. We're going to get to that, and then where should we go? Where do I like him to go? Atlanta think they can get a first-round pick. I know it's been offered, but I just wouldn't be. If I were a team, I don't know if I'd be willing to give up a first-round pick. 33-year-old receiver. Injury-prone. Russell Gage, Hayden Hurst, and Calvin Ridley had more catches than him last year because of his injury. And do I think Julio Jones is good? Of course. I'm not going to sit here and say he's not a good receiver, but it's just, do we trust him to stay healthy for a full season? Yeah, if you can get him for like 10 games, it's just, I mean, you could take that. But I just don't know if I want to give up a first-round pick for him due to first-round pick. That could be something. That could be a much younger Julio Jones. You don't know. And he's just 33 years old. I mean, a second, a third, a fourth. If you want to package those, like a second and a fourth, a third and fifth, second and third, or maybe like a late first. Some teams, like the Bills, I mean, you could do that, but it's just, I'd be a little skeptical. I mean, for one first, I mean, if you think you can do it, I mean, you could do it. But I just wouldn't. If your pick's above like 27, I don't know if I'd be down for it. Frankly. 33 years old, injury prone. He's up there in age, obviously, but just you can move up in the draft. All right. Or not move up the draft. He needs to move on. Can't blame the guy. Like I definitely don't blame him for getting out. His team gagged and choked in the Super Bowl against the New England Patriots. He could have had that ring, but team absolutely coughed up blood against the Patriots and choked, and yeah, it wasn't pretty. So he could have had that ring, but now he wants to go to a contender. Couple teams he could go to. Seahawks are the favorite right at the moment. So that's also not going to be a first-round pick because we don't have a first-round pick next year because of the Jamal Adams trade. But I get the argument that would be an unstoppable offense with like DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Russell Wilson, the Eldridge guy, I think his name is, we drafted, Julio Jones. Like that'd be a balling offense. I don't know. I kind of like the fit, but I'd be skeptical. Can you trust guys to stay healthy? Draft picks are everything when, we need an offensive line. And that's really what it bears down to. We need some help on defense. And, I think, if you have a good offense, don't get me wrong, I think you're going to go far. But I just don't see winning a game or winning the ring because defense wins championships. And you could score about 31 points a game, but when you have a bad defense against, like, an elite team like Patrick Mahomes, you're going to get shredded up. I don't think Seahawks have a bad defense, but there's some improvement to be done there. I like it. I give it about a 6.5 out of 10. I wouldn't be mad, but I'd be okay. I'd be content with the trade. I think we'd have a very good offense, very good success. Russ would be happy, but people he'd be happy with the receiver. I think he wants a line, but he's not gonna complain with Julio Jones. I wouldn't. I mean, 33 years old. Even if he's injured, he could be a leader to the young guys, I guess. That's a plus. Bills, another team I'd like him to go to. I mean, the Bills are there to get, dude. Imagine the receiving core of Stephon Diggs and Julio Jones, and Josh Allen at quarterback. That would be awesome. That would be some stuff that the Bills might they might be I could see them. The AFC is gonna be stacked next year, man. With the Bills, the Browns, the Chiefs, maybe even the Patriots, it's gonna be a very stacked AFC conference next year. There's any disputing that. So I've heard the Packers as an option. That one isn't gonna happen. Titans, he want to play for. That one I'm a little optimistic about. Or not optimistic. Sorry, I'm a little skeptical. It's just. Where would you want to go to the Titans? I mean, I just don't see them, making it too far next year. They have Derrick Henry, but I just don't see them, being that elite team in the AFC conference. Patriots, another team I'd see them go to. That would be a cool fit. Nothing wrong with that. if you go to the Patriots, then give Mac Jones and Cam Newton a target, another superstar target, along with Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry and all those boys down there. That would be interesting to see. And the Niners would be another good team for them. Just make that receiving core even more stacked. Give Jimmy G or Trey Lance, who's going to be the quarterback down there this season, another all-star receiver to throw to. Can't trust Deebo Samuel to stay healthy. You got Brandon Ayuk. If all three of them were healthy, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, and Julio Jones, and George Kittle, that team would be crazy. But, they're brittle. They're like Anthony Davis. So, you really think that's going to go there? Coming up next on the Emmett Douglas Show, we have a couple more stories left. We're hitting down to the home run phase of this program. We have Niamey Osaga retiring. We've got Vikings wanting to trade up for Justin Fields. Were the Heat a product of the bubble, or were the Bucks just awesome? And then we already did that. So we're coming down the home stretch here on the Emmett Douglas Show. All right, coming up next though, we're gonna dive into. All right, I'm saving tennis for last. Justin Fields. All right, no, Justin Fields, quarterback for the Bears. The Bears obviously traded up with their first round pick to pick 11 to pick up Justin Fields because obviously they're smart. They're not. Like, you really think Andy Dalton's the future of this team? No. Now, I'm this quarterback class is crazy stacked. I'm high on Justin Fields, but he's also one of my lowest quarterbacks on the board. He's in my top 5. I just don't know. But, everyone was saying this about Herbert, and look at Herbert now. So, I don't know if I'm ready to will out Justin Fields yet. But, Vikings. They're supposedly offering up some stuff to go up to that number. They're trying to trade up for Justin Fields. They're trying to get Justin Fields. What now? Obviously, this just shows one thing: you cannot trust Kirk Cousins. That's what their mindset is here. You cannot trust him. That's why they want. Why would they offer? Why would they want Justin Fields? Like, it's clear. Kellen Mond, he's more of a project. I could see, maybe next year he could. They might bench Kirk Cousins. I don't know. I like Kellen Mond as a player. I'm interested to see how he sees or how he goes. The Vikings is a good team for him to go to with like J. Jeff, Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen, like all those guys. That's the team he'd want to go to. Like, clearly the Vikings are just, I think it's a big deal, or not a big deal. I think it's a like a decent deal, like it's okay, like deal, like not like it's just post a draft, talk. But if I were Kellen Mond, I'd be jumping up in my shoes because it's obvious they do not trust Kirk Cousins. Kellen Mond might get the start there early. Might. Now Kirk Cousins is consistent. He just hasn't really done, much for the Minnesota Vikings. Haven't really won much, so can't blame him on that front. All right, now I don't know if this is another story here, and going back to the NBA. Miami Heat, former Eastern Conference champion last season, they were a clean sweep by the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round of the NBA playoffs, and it's just like, what is this? You have to ask the question: were the Heat a product of the bubble, or were the Bucks just spectacular? I must say, just to overcome the team the Heat did, I think the Bucks are just great, man. Like, the Heat did choke away the series. that one's pretty obvious. They did not look good. But it's just like, well, the Heat, or the Bucks can say Drew Holiday is just such an impressive snipe, an impressive pickup that the Bucks did, or Bucks made in the offseason. And I Drew Holiday's a good player. I just didn't expect to have this much of an impact on the team, and clearly he did. The Bucks, they looked a little shell-shocked in the playoffs last year, and they obviously got eliminated round 1 or 2, I think? Or was it round 3? It was early next. It was the Heat and the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. And I think, the Heat, they obviously took a step back this year, which is, unfortunate to see. I mean, they were trying to trade for James Harden, which would be, who knows what they'd be now if they trade for James Harden. I think that series would be fire, I feel like, if he actually landed James Harden. Like, tell me that wouldn't be a good series. Like, how are you going to deny, well, it's just, it's a bad series? No, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. I think, the Bucks have improved. The Heat, did they get a little lucky last year? Maybe. But also, I mean, they get screwed in the finals with injuries, so yeah. I don't really believe in the product of the bubble thing. I actually think, they had some bad luck. All right? They had a little bit of bad luck, if you will. Now, last segment of the show, I think. Now, Niamey Osaga, I am not, first of all, before I get into this, I am not a mental health expert. I am not a tennis expert. But, everyone's talking about it, so I decided to put my 2 cents in, if you guys will. What are my thoughts on Niamey Osaga retiring? Alright? Or stepping away from tennis for a little bit. First of all, I'm going to say this about the media. I completely understand why people would be frustrated with with her for not talking to the media. I mean, I've heard stuff from people like interviewers, people in the media I've seen. She's not a very good interviewer or good interviewee. Maybe she has some social anxiety, which can't really blame. It's not like her fault, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at. That she has social anxiety. I mean, can't really blame her. I'm not going to assume anything, but she got fined $15,000, and yeah, that's how they make their money, I guess, the media. So I could completely understand why people were frustrated. But my thing is with the mental health thing. She stepped out, basically said, she's been going through it for a while. She's been dealing with some depression and stuff, other not very good stuff like that. So she's been going through it. So she decided to take a break. And honestly, my thoughts, good on her. Being honest about your feelings, taking a break, get yourself in the right mindset, come back even stronger. I hope that's what happens. I don't know how long this break's gonna be. I'm not a doctor. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but it's basically, you don't have to be a doctor. It's really person to person with the depression. And yeah, she's just good on her for taking the break. Good on her for acknowledging it. I hope she gets the help she needs. But also, everyone has to talk to the media, and that's something she has to realize. That's a part of being an athlete. That's like if that's like if a doc or a police officer didn't write crime reports. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Media is a big part of sports nowadays. That's how the tennis gets their money. That's how we get these stories to talk about. That's how media gets their money. Media is very important to the role of sports, in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, hopefully she can get the help she needs. Come back stronger. Talk to the media. And the thing is, $15,000 really not a lot to her. I mean, I think she got money. And yeah, withdrawn from the French Open. She might be back soon. I think it really depends on the situation. But this is Blindside Sports. I'm Emmit Douglas. Thanks y'all for watching. We're not done yet though. Alright, thanking y'all. Alright. I'm not a tennis expert. Anything I want to touch on here? We're just looking at my notes. I'll say this. I will say this. As a Blazers fan, at first I was kind of pissed with the Norman Powell trade. I was like, well, he's on the Raptors. Raptors aren't very good. Like, come on. I like Gary Trent. I have to say, I would not be opposed with us trading CJ for another super strike, a forward, or a big, and just Norman Powell looks great, and he's been doing good things ever since he got traded to Blazers, and even before that on the Toronto Raptors. And you know what? We're gonna wrap the show up with some picks. We have 3 NBA playoff games tonight, starting with the Nets and the Celtics. Nets obviously favoring this game, and this is go home or go big for the Celtics. So I have the Celtics putting up a fight and coming up with the W. I think it's going to be a pretty good game. I'm actually kind of hyped for it. I think the Celtics are going to play their hearts out. Man, if they had Jaylen Brown, this series might be better. That's all I'm going to say. And we're coming up over at the 6 o'clock hour, I believe. We got the Nuggets and my Blazers. And Nuggets are favored here. But to be honest with you guys, I like the Blazers tonight. I think, Dame's going to have a revenge game. I think Powell's going to go off. I think McCollum's going to have a good game. I think, the Blazers are going to kind of go off and, prove their doubters wrong this game. I mean, take the 3-2 lead. This big momentum. I think they're heading back into Portland after this, too. So they're trying to build the momentum to go into the home game and, maybe close the series out. I did not expect this. Oh, man. And then our last game of the night, we have the Lakers against the Phoenix Suns. AD's out. Phoenix home. Phoenix favored. Taking Phoenix. And I'm just not willing to buy that LeBron James can carry the Lakers on his back like this at the age of 36 with saying that I don't know if I'll be 100% ever again for a while. I'm just not ready to, say LeBron James can do that. I think, is it going to be a close game? No. Is it going to be a blowout? No. I think it's going to be, just a very average game. I have the Suns taking it. Look for Devin Booker to ball out. Look for DeAndre Ayton and Andre Jordan to have like a little rebounding battle. I think DeAndre Ayton, who has been going off in the series, by the way, he's going crazy. And either way, though, I could see the Lakers with a tiny bit of momentum because they got sliced and diced on Sunday. Like AD was like 1 for 9 when he left the game, 2 for 10, something like that. Something not very good. So I'm still gonna take the Suns. We're gonna look up the playoff games for tomorrow because obviously I don't know when the next show is gonna be. I hope to do one next week. I hope to do on Friday. It's just I need find my stories, And now, what I want to do, if you guys have anything you want me to talk about that's unique, but it's still a good story, hit me up on Twitter. All right. Now I kind of talk about what other people talk about in the media. That's where I go by, but I want to branch away from that. Kind of bring my own feel to the show. And if you guys, what I want to do, all right, someone who knows their stuff, all right. If you know this person for the NFL team, I want to bring them on this podcast and preview the upcoming NFL season with them. It's going to be mostly them talking. I'm going to be asking them questions, and they're going to be, responding to them. And, yeah. If y'all are, know your stuff about NFL, I'll test you a little bit in the DMs, and then, if I think you're suited for it, I'll bring you on the podcast, and we'll talk about it. I have a guy for the Seahawks, and I'll probably jump in because of my team. I probably have a guy for the Lions, and if y'all want to hop in. If you know someone who's knows their stuff and they're like a Eagles fan or something, or not Eagles fan, that's a bad example. A Jaguars fan, I've never met one of those dudes in my life. Hit them up. Hey, if they want to hop on a sports show, a live show, their game, all right? NBA games tomorrow.
There are 4 conference
4 games tomorrow.
The Wizards take on the 76ers in Game 5 at 4 p.m. The 76ers lead the series 3-1. The Hawks play the Knicks in Game 5 at 4:30 p.m. The Hawks lead the series 3-1. The Grizzlies meet the Jazz in Game 5 at 6:30 p.m. The Jazz lead the series 3-1.
All right, so first game we got the Wizards and the Sixers. I think the Sixers are going to be coming out with a hard momentum to take to end the series. I just don't see the Wizards like putting up that big of a fight. And the Sixers are like the number 1 seed, and I think they're gonna come, take momentum early, take this one home, and give Joel Embiid some rest to that sore knee. I don't know how I feel about that. I should have talked about that. A bad job by me, but Joel Embiid, he had a sore knee, and he left the game early. He did return, and I think they might put him on minutes restriction tomorrow, and just hope they can ride the win against the Wizards, and then save him, rest him up for the next series. And then after that, we have Knicks-Hawks. Hawks lead the series 3-1. I actually have the Knicks, I think playoff Julius is going to stop. I think he's going to have a solid game. I think the Knicks are going to prevail with that. And that's going to be a close game. We have Jazz-Grizz tomorrow. 3-1 series lead for the Utah Jazz. I'm going to take the upset. Big game for Ja, big game for Dylan Brooks. Grizzlies make the series 3-2. And then Los Angeles Clippers against the Dallas Mavs. 2-2. This is momentum. Where is this game being played? Where is the Los Angeles Clippers game being played?
The Clippers and Mavericks are playing Game 5 of the conference quarterfinals at Staples Center.
Staples Center. Clippers have the momentum of the home court advantage. I'm going to take the Clippers. I hate to do it. I'm a Ben Maller show fan, so I want to see Ben mad when the Clippers choke. I'm going to take the Clippers, though. I think, home court's too good to pass up. I think even though there's some optimistic thoughts, I cannot talk this afternoon, with Luka Doncic's next train. I just don't know if he's gonna be at 100% yet. Kawhi Leonard, who's actually he's averaging like 20.8 points, shooting like 50 and 40 from the playoffs through his career. He's doing pretty well in the playoffs. I think he's got a big game. Playoff P's got a big game. Clippers 3-2. Yeah, and maybe I'll do like a picks video, not like a live stream, but just like a video of my picks for the day or something, just to build everything up. That's a good idea actually. I might do that. All right. And I said I want to get Madden stream in today. I don't know if that's possible, because I need to watch these games. I need to react to these stories. All right. I host the Blindside Sports Show with Emmit Douglas. I can't be slacking off. All right. Hope y'all understand. And this has been a fun show. Really enjoyed it. Glad to be back after the not well-deserved. It wasn't well-deserved. After the week off. After Emmit Douglas, I slacked. Now I have like the new setup here, where it's better, from my mic. I'm sure the quality is better. Put some stuff up in my room, convey the echo a little bit. It's still there. I still hear it, but I am sure it's better. And this podcast is quality over quantity. I hope by my next one I have the visuals figured out, because it's just y'all want to see my face. I feel like that'll bring the view. This is a YouTube video live streamed show. Y'all want to see it. Y'all want to see me. So I completely understand that. This has been Blindside Sports. Thanks to you, the listeners, for watching this. Like the stream, subscribe, comment your thoughts below, say what up to the fam. I don't know what that was. Hit me up on the social medias.